Well, good morning, good people. Mark Holmes here. As always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Blue Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. Came downstairs this morning, making coffee and stuff to go back upstairs to do my morning video, and I turned on the TV down here, and they were talking about basically what's going on in the NFC. So I have not seen Get Up this morning. I actually want to watch this and hear what they had to say, because they started out talking about Brock Purdy, who all of a sudden, San Francisco's got quarterback problems.
Trying to get down to Halloween, what do we think of this young Mike McDaniel costume? Danny, look at this. Not only does he have the outfit, but he's got the run off the field working.
Boy, that looks terrible.
Well done by those parents. Well done job by those parents.
Hold on.
Look at it. They look like
That's a little better. There we go.
I like it when people used to do Rex when you would have you the headset and the vest. You had a distinctive look back
There we go.
Yeah, which even
Nope.
100 pounds heavier.
Yeah, that's exactly. Look at Rex. He's like half the man he used to be. Anyway,
I guess I gotta stay over here.
Live to another hour from the Seaport. We're brought to you by Grey Goose. We are jam-packed. And let's keep it moving. So we opened by talking about the Week 8 NFC big picture here. We got the three big teams all in action yesterday. We showed you highlights from all.
There we go.
Dan, give me your biggest takeaway from Brock Purdy's struggles against the Bengals.
You have to be concerned that so many passes of his over the past couple weeks are getting touched by the defense. Could have thrown even more interceptions than he did yesterday. There's still a lot of good moments.
5 INTs.
Very good defensive performance.
5 in the last 3 games.
Defensive coordinator for the Bengals. And if you're the 49ers offensively, you got to get back on rhythm in your pass game.
So they lose a third straight game. Rex, the Eagles, another tough one with the Commanders, but they have a stud in A.J. Brown.
Well, only 6 straight games over 125 yards receiving. Really? And were we surprised by that, Washington? Just curious. How about we have 2 guys on him every snap?
How about Washington scoring 31 points against them
The first thing you think of is how physical Philly is when they run the football. How physical is their wideout? A heck of a lot more physical than anybody else's in.
Yep, he is very much, to me, in the MVP conversation as well.
Mhm.
And then we have the Cowboys in there a little bit obliterating the Rams. How about the quarterback?
Yeah, the quarterback's been outstanding in the last couple of weeks. His accuracy on those passes, and Dan pointed out his eyes. I think Dak's intelligence is so important to the game, understanding the team, and then they get an early lead, it's over. Once they get an early lead and you have to throw the ball, they're going to force turnovers, and Micah Parsons is going to be a problem.
He's no feast.
One thing that I don't think any of
Look,
those
he was
people-
still held, but he
Let's
still
focus
got
in
it.
on them for a moment. None of us wonder if they can play great against bad teams. None of us wonder if they can blow out
here we go.
who they should blow out. And that's, I'm not trying to undersell that. That's an important quality of being a good team. The question is, can they do it at a championship quality level? Did yesterday change your mind at all about the Cowboys being a championship team?
It did not. The Cowboys get to play to the exact style that they kind of need to. Then I will get into that conversation, say they can go beat the Philadelphias and the San Franciscos or even the Detroits and Seattles. But they have to play to that style. Their offense was great. You know, Dak's eyes down, I thought they're fantastic. The ability to get CD moving around and then using that information.
This is the same guy who was just praising Zach Wilson for an incredible game.
He's going to read to the 3-man side.
He scored 13 points.
Side or towards the middle of the field. He's going to throw a post corner, post one-on-one to CD in. Now look at Dak's eyes. He knows what that safety's doing, so he's taking him where he wants to go. Safety closes his shoulders, rips that backside in, or that backside post corner post. Beautiful job. Now another one. See, he's at the top of the screen, okay? And you're going to get pressure off your left side. Now when that happens, you have a defensive end from the right that's going to drop into coverage. His job is to drop and kind of read your eyes. Dak knows that again, so he's staring to the left side, bottom of the screen, to get that guy to just to straighten up a little bit to vacate that open zone for what we call a wrap in. So I thought the movement of CeeDee Lamb, the matchups that were created, and the eyes for Dak Prescott were great. If I get that consistently out of their offense, then yeah, they have championship type of moments. And then the defense gets to play with the lead for sure, but I haven't seen that consistently to bank on.
You agree with that, Rex?
Well, no, I think this team showed me something. The fact that you just kind of glanced over, you made a good point about CeeDee Lamb, how they moved him, but it shouldn't be glanced over. They haven't done that. Up until this week, they kept putting Michael Gallup at the X receiver.
And they would have
all the time.
CeeDee Lamb in the slot by like
Always.
Yeah.
And to me, that's like they realized, hey, you know what? We're not any good with Michael Gallup out at that weak side of that formation. Let's put our best receiver over there. They put CeeDee Lamb over there, and that thing that this play you just
moved him
showed,
around.
all right, well, it's a fire zone pressure. Well, that linebacker, the defensive end, is dropping to the number 2 receiver. You moved him away, you got more space for CeeDee Lamb. That's why you had all that room in there. The other thing is this: they realized Brandon Cooks is a special player in his own right, and he's your second best receiver.
Without a
Take
doubt.
the other kid out with the water. I don't care. He underperforms every single week.
Ooh,
And so
talking about Gallup.
Brandon Cooks is legit, and so does CeeDee Lamb, and now you got an offense to start to figure it out.
The reason why you put your best receiver at X is perfectly illustrated by Dan's video. Is because it's harder to double team them. You put your best receiver in the slot, you don't have to compromise your defense. A safety's already over here. Put your best receiver to the X, then you have to move a safety over, then you have a 3-over-2 on the other side or something like that. So if you put CeeDee Lamb in the slot, you put him at the Z, there's too many people around him. You don't force the defense to cross drive themselves. Stop it. Now, you got to do something different. You got to compromise the rest of your defense as close to you.
So today
Great
is
point.
not just the day that we look back on all of yesterday's action, but it's also the beginning of what should be the best weekend the NFL has had so far. Monster games. We got Bengals and Bills, which is huge. And it'll be in Frankfurt for Kansas City, Miami, maybe the top of the AFC. And then Dallas and Philly. So as we're sitting here looking at these two teams, the first of 2 meetings this year between the Cowboys and Eagles. So after we see the Eagle, look,
This is gonna be
style
fun.
fight is not what we say. Obviously, the Commanders just give the Eagles fits. There's something in that matchup, but give Philly credit. They found a way to win another tough game yesterday, so they go into this thing coming off another hard-fought win. Who do you feel better about right now going into this game next week in Philadelphia?
Of course he's gonna say Philly.
Or the Eagles?
Philadelphia, because they have more pitches. Philadelphia, because they can win in different ways, more consistently. If you want to stop their run game, then they can get into their RPO game. If you want to stop the commitment of A.J. Brown, then they have players like Dallas Goedert and DeAndre Swift and Devontae Smith. I think the game is going to come down to, honestly, A.J. Brown versus CeeDee Lamb. Which one of those receivers has a monster game is going to help
Good
their
point.
offense in significant amounts?
Well, and that, I guess, does also spin to the defensive question. Because, Rex, you brought up earlier, this Eagles team that was
Defense
pretty
stinks.
good last year, particularly getting after the quarterback. They are playing without 5 of last year's stuff. They did lose their defensive coordinator, who's now the head coach in Arizona. So I'll ask you a similar version of the same question. Which defense do you feel better about going into this matchup? Cowboys?
It's not even close.
Not even
I'm
close.
taking Dallas every single day of the week. Here's what
I know they got run over. In the games they've lost, they've been out physical.
Well,
And the Eagles are physical.
Well, you know, they're absolutely physical, but I believe in Dan Quinn. I think we're gonna see the
There you go.
against those RPOs. And
Well, we've got all week to discuss that, but I love the way they broke down about CeeDee Lamb being on the outside as opposed into the slot. So maybe the Cowboys are finally figuring out, or maybe Dan Quinn and Brian Schottenheimer are finally figuring it out. So time for me to go upstairs and get my morning video out. It's going to be a great week. Peace out.